Am I like the only one that felt like I actually understood the relationship between Death and Agatha? These people here, I've marked out their names, talk about it's ridiculous and they're bitter that they didn't get like the love backstory from Agatha and Rio. But like, am I crazy? I'm not crazy, right? I felt like I understood their backstory entirely. So the way I interpreted their relationship and their love story is that it was two people who kept coming face to face, but were never together. There was this kind of, perpetual like longing. So Agatha, the way I interpret it was she stayed alive for so long, but she kept absorbing these witches' powers and life force, therefore making her essentially immortal, prolonging her life. But in doing so, she is also giving death like a lot of bodies. So for the death that she's escaping, she is giving death like five more bodies every time she escapes life. So she's literally saying, "Oh, you're not getting me, but here's more than expected." And so her and death keep coming like face to face for all of these centuries. And then finally, death is like, "You know what? I love you. You have done so much more. I will give you more time." But in order to have that time, she has to keep doing the thing that she's been doing, which is like offing witches to give to death. So basically, you know, buying time for another individual. And finally, the day she does not do it is the day that she loses her son. The day that Rio comes and takes her child away from her in the night. She does it calmly. She does it quietly. She does it gently. But all Agatha cares about is the fact that Rio took her child from her. Period. And so, Agatha continues doing what she does best, killing witches, taking their power and their life force. But we also know from the end, part of her motivation from that is she doesn't feel like she can confront her child. She cannot come face to face and confront him for, maybe all of the horrible things that she's done or for letting him die or whatever reason. And then finally, in the end, Agatha embraces death. And death gets Agatha, finally. But that also means that that's the end for her and Agatha. She no longer will get to see Agatha. She will no longer get to spend time with Agatha. So now, finally, in the end, Agatha has embraced the thing that she has been running from her entire existence and embraces death. Someone that she has loved for all of these centuries, but at the same time has refused to give in to that love by being with death. Am I crazy? Is it just me? Am I the only one that interpreted it that way? Like, I feel like I didn't need any more explanation. I felt like it made perfect sense to me, their relationship. We are looking at Rio like she is this like perfect singular entity. And yes, she is a physical embodiment of death, but that doesn't mean that we can then personify her as like a perfect individual, like a human. She still is death. And I think a lot of that story wrapped up around her is about Agatha's inability to confront death and to accept death. It's her running from it constantly. And so while that may be a physical person in this representation, that doesn't change the idea of that death is still kind of an amorphous, like, not tangible thing, in my opinion.